Alright guys, today we're going to be taking a look at an insane blue and gold loadout that you can build right now in October of 2024 in Counter-Strike 2. Now I've done this kind of blue and gold combos and loadouts before in the past because one, I think they're a really nice pairing, two, value for money is really strong, but we now have some new options in there and I wanted to make like an updated version, so we're going to go through all the weapon skins now and then I'll have a couple of combo options at the end. So my first pick is going to be on the USP, and I'm going to go for the Jawbreaker in minimal wear. It comes in just under the $10 mark these days, and obviously you can see here, we've got the blue of the dog on that yellow base with some pink accents. So, and again, yellow and gold kind of blend together in CS when it comes to skin options because there's not that many. I do want to note that you could consider using an Alpine camo if you wanted to go, or Alpine camo, whatever it's meant to be said, if you wanted to go for blue and go for a blue gem, but for the yellow and the blue, I think the Jawbreaker is better. For the P2000 enjoyers, it's going to be mostly blue, or purely blue here, with the handgun, just over $1 for this in minimal wear, so if you are a P2K enjoyer, which I am at the minute, here you go. Now, the Glock for me, the Ramesses Reach, I absolutely love this. It's my current Glock as well. This one's minimal wear. It will come in just under $8. So again, here you're seeing that we're not always going to be having both blue and gold on the same skin, but because it's a two-tone loadout, it gives us more options when we're building it out because we can just go pure gold or pure blue as well. For the Desert Eagle, I'm actually going to go for the new one, the Tilted, which is from the Overpass collection, I believe. At the time of planning, this was $2.50 for minimal wear. It's probably gone down. Better for you guys. It has gone down in price since. But obviously, this is a very different sort of color of blue. It's a very light blue. But it does then get these sort of like yellowy gold bronze accents on it. So I think overall, it actually works pretty well for this loadout. And I think overall, this is going to be an incredibly good value for money deagle. And I'm going to spend big on the AK, and I think the absolute perfect pick is the Inheritance. I would go for it in Battle Scars, so you start to get the cracks coming through more, which obviously gives you a little bit more of this sort of bronzy gold effect on it too. Craft-wise for this, there's so many options, but yeah, I think Battle Scarred Inheritance, $54, perfect. Now, I think for the first time, I'm going to suggest two skins for one weapon, and I'm not just giving an alternative, I think you should pick up both of these. First of all, is the Field Tested Golden Coil, absolutely fantastic skin. And I think you should be picking up a minimal wear Nightmare. This is not minimal wear looking at the float. This is definitely still field tested, but ignore that. You should be going minimal wear for the Nightmare, field tested for the Golden Coil. That's about $70 in total, and you get two insane options you can just rotate between. The Emperor A4, absolute no-brainer. It has to be the Emperor. Now, I've gone minimal wear, which is $31. It's a little bit pricey. You could go low float field test it and save more than half, but I think if you want it long term, want it to be clean, the minimum wear is actually worth it. My one real issue with this loadout is that the op has to be the Man of War, and it's like $31 for this sort of, I'm going to call it lackluster op skin with no scope details. So please, Valve, in the future, either give us a new gold op, a new blue op, or a new blue and gold op that we can use, but this is the best option. It's a shame. When it comes to the MP9, I'm going to say it's worth going for a Starlight Protector. Now, I am leaning into a white and sort of greyish base here, but you do get yellow and a lot of gold throughout it, honestly. Then some yellow accents and some blue accents. And I think it looks pretty good overall. For the Mac10, I'm actually going to go for the Stalker. Normally, I wouldn't spend this much on the Mac10. And I very often don't suggest the Stalker. But it is under $20. It's a lot to pay. But you will use the Mac10 a considerable amount. And it is a lot of yellow and blue, so it's kind of hard to argue against. Another pretty no-brainer option would be the P250 Wingshot. Now, it's only $2.50, minimal wear, but it ticks the box really nicely for us. It's got this sort of blue accent, a lot of yellow, and a white base as well, so it fits in really nicely to the loadout that we're building. Another example of just going for one pure color out of the two would be the Urban Shocks. Obviously, this is a very nice blue along the top of these deagles. They're about $1.70 for minimal wear. And then obviously it's got this like grey digital urban camo around the blue as well. Now, the 5.7 technically has three choices. You could go for the case hardener. You could go for exactly the same skin, but in the new form of the heat treated. I think best value for money is going to be the Monkey Business. Over $2 here for field test it, but it looks clean. It's a very cool skin. Plays into the Inferno Banana call out. I just like it like that. It's going to be the Stone Cold for the Gale. This is $2.90. I think it's one of the best budget skins for the Gale flat out. I'm pretty sure Cloud agreed with me when he did his comprehensive Gale guide. I think he said this was the best value for money pick. So, you know what? You can't argue with him. The Famus is going to be the option I had when I had my gold loadout, and that is the Commemoration. This comes in under $8 for minimal wear. Obviously, it's got the set of 5, you're defusing the bomb at the very back of it, which you don't really see when you use it in-game at all, or even when you inspect, but it does have all the map names, and it's like a globe, a really comes together quite nicely for the price you're paying. Building on that M4A4 Emperor, we're then going to have the Mag7 Justice. This is $4.50 for a Mag7, but continues that style and artwork. The blue and the gold is fantastic, and if you're taking heads off with this with it one-tapped, it's going to look good. At only 12 cents, I think the XM Slipstream Minimal Wear is a really good pick here. Obviously, it's lots of blues and greys. It's a bit of a lighter shade of blue, but I think for the price you're paying, it's kind of hard to argue against. Now, if you do enjoy using a ZZ, I think going for the Syndicate here is going to be a good choice. It is over $5, which you may think is a little bit much to pay for a ZZ, and maybe I'd agree with you, but for the pure golden blue, it's another one that obviously it's not from that same designer, but it really gives me that same sort of like color vibe as the Emperor and the Justice. Over on the Type 9, I would often have gone for a fuel injector here, but I want to say the ice cap this time because it is pattern based, so you can go through and find one that is a pattern that you actually enjoy and provides that bit of uniqueness in game, and it's only 26 cents for the minimal wear. Now, my MP7 choice, you probably could have put money on it at the start of the video for what it was going to be. It is indeed going to be the Just Smile. It is a blue-based skin with a considerable amount of the yellow accents, obviously some purple accents in there as well, but minimal wear is just over $1 at this point for this skin. I think it's fantastic. I want to see it on rifles basically, so I think here, no brainer. In a very similar or fairly similar style, I'm going to then go for the Wild Child for the UMP. Over $4 for a UMP. Lots of color here, but it has a bright blue, it's got a bright yellow, and then the rest is like bright pink with some sort of grey black accents. So overall it is multicolored, but we're hitting the two main colors that we're after, so yeah, I quite like it as the option. Over in the AUG, I'm featuring this, it seems like almost every video at this point, but the Ilian is under $3, and you could argue that spending $2.78 is a lot for an AUG, a skin you might not use at all in game. So if you don't use it at all, obviously don't buy it, but if you want to complete the loadout, I think this one is just a perfect pick. Then for the SG, honestly, you know what, I wanted to go budget because I'm like, oh, you don't use it that much. I should have gone for a hazard pay. I was worried about people arguing it would be too yellow than blue. But what I did go for was a Phantom. It's 57 cents. I think this is probably, along with the AWP, a problem area. We need some more options, please, Valve. Over on the Scout side of things, I decided to go for the Minimal Wear Abyss. Now, I know a lot of people love this in Battlescar, but for this true blue and gold, I think going Minimal Wear is the best bet. And I have two more weapon skins. The first is going to be the PP Bison Brass. Now, this is under $1, Minimal Wear, and I think it looks pretty good. Obviously, it's not a perfect gold, but I think it holds up pretty well. And then finally, I'm going to go for a nice Easter egg skin. It's going to be the Scarab Rush, or the Scarab Rush. Battlescar is just over $3 for this, but this is one. I love the artwork. The Easter egg is so good, and you know what? It comes together so nicely. I think it's worth suggestion. Now, the total weapon skin cost here is $273 as of the time of planning. So this is actually cheaper than the orange and white loadout that I built earlier this week that I said is actually one that you could actually afford. So if you only wanted to go for weapon skins, this in the grand scheme, even if you took a year to build it out, outside of the AWP, this is a very good value for money CS2 loadout. Now, when it comes to picking a combo, I have two options for you here. One is more expensive, and I'm going to start with that. It's going to be the Field Agent Gloves in-field tested for $255, paired with a Phase 3 Flip Doppler. Now, I think the flip knife, I have my problems with it, but when you look at it here with these gloves, it comes together so well. The knife is $460, making the total cost $715. So obviously, that is my expensive combo. You could spend a hell of a lot more if you wanted to, but I tried to keep it within reason, and I think it comes together quite well. If you wanted to save money and play a bit more into the gold, here you have some Lieutenant Commanders in field test with some minimal wear Shadow Daggers lore. I have always been a big fan of the Lieutenant Commanders pairing into a lure knife, and I really wanted to make it budget friendly, and I think that these lure knives at $125 are just insanely good value for money. At this point, even if you looked at it, like, oh, okay, I actually want to get like nicer gloves. Now, these are 0.25. It's pattern 1. The specials gloves obviously are, the wear changes based on pattern basically. So both float and pattern make a difference. I would say here, this total combo is $295. You could even put like $30 extra on top if you wanted to hunt for like a lower float pair of gloves. But overall, I think this has come together really, really nicely. I'll just give you an example of what the gloves would look like with one of the key weapon skins. But I am going to end it there. Thank you very much for you guys watching. I hope you've enjoyed this. And obviously, if there's any themes and or budgets that you guys want to see me cover, please let me know in the comments down below. I want to say a big thank you to the YouTube members that are continuing to support the channel and everything that I do. It is super appreciated. And if you want to find out more about that, make sure you hit that join button down below. It won't automatically take a payment. It'll give you a breakdown of the tiers and what perks you get from it. I said that one, guys. I'm going to end it there. I'll catch you in the next one. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.